Well, good morning. I'm honored to be here with all of you, and we thank all those who've made this possible for us to get together and talk about SelectUSA. As a governor of Utah, I can tell you that the United States is a great place to invest, and we have many states out there that have much to offer for those of you who are looking for a place to invest and do business. A few years ago, the Wall Street Journal said about Utah, they claimed the brightest star on the flag was the state of Utah, and talking about some of the economic successes that we've had in the state of Utah. And I can tell you our stars continue to shine for the last number of years in ways that most of us probably couldn't have imagined. For example, our GDP growth rate is about 4%. We've created in the last 12 months more per capita private sector job growth creation than any state in America today. Our unemployment rate is down to 3%. And particularly as people are jumping in and getting into the marketplace, the fact that our unemployment rate's been able to be retained at such a low level is an indication of our fast-growing economy in the state of Utah. Moreover, our future is really what's the concern for, I think, all of us here today, is what's going to happen tomorrow. I appreciate the fact that Art Laffer, who was Ronald Reagan's economic advisor, in predicting the outlook for any of the states of Utah, or in America, said that Utah's outlook economically is the best in America today. That's the reason why I think Forbes magazine has named Utah the best place for business 6 out of the last 8 years. So what we're talking about today really is about opportunities for you to do business, to invest. And I would ask you to consider taking a look at the fastest growing state in America today, certainly in the top 2 or 3, as a growth opportunity for you to invest. For example, if you were to consider and imagine a city that has 20,000 plus developable acres within minutes of an international airport, close to a dynamic metropolitan city, close to interstate and rail and air, you say, where would that be? I'm here to tell you that is in Utah and Utah alone. In Salt Lake City, we have 20,000 acres of developable land in what we call the Northwest Quadrant, which we're investing $120 million to put infrastructure in to allow for commercial development to take place next to our Salt Lake International Airport. We already have Amazon's doing a fulfillment center there. UPS is investing $250 million in capital investment, about 1,500 jobs. That's just the beginning of this opportunity of 20,000 acres. I mentioned the airport, Salt Lake City International Airport. We're investing $3.3 billion to expand the Delta airline hub there in the Salt Lake International Airport. We have direct flights to 90 cities around the country and around the world. A significant opportunity for us, in fact, in this area to create what we call an inland port, kind of a new concept. You're probably familiar with some of the challenges we face with coastal ports, the delays, the backup, the time it takes to get through customs there. We're going to propose an inland port there by the Salt Lake City International Airport, which will, in fact, remove some of this friction in the economy. It will relieve the inefficiencies, the bottlenecks, the congestion that you see in other ports. It has the potential to be a world-class hub where we do have rail, air freight, trucking, warehousing there in this middle of this Northwest Quadrant. And again, this inland port will help us not only become the crossroads of the West, which Utah's been named, but the crossroads of the world. In addition, we have between our 2 major metropolitan areas, Salt Lake City and Salt Lake County and Provo and Utah County, within really about a 50-mile radius, we have about 2 million people. And the hub in the middle of that we call the Point of the Mountain. Some of you may have been there. It's destined to become an economic powerhouse for our state, and particularly in our growing high-tech industry, which per capita-wise, again, the IT industry in Utah has been #1 in the nation. So right in the hub of this thing, we're going to have what's called Silicon Slopes. It started out here, again, a high-tech IT center. It's like Silicon Valley. It brings a lot of capital to the state of Utah. We say it's like Silicon Valley in California. Only in Utah it has better skiing. So if you like to ski, come to Utah. We have now 6,500 startups and tech companies in the state of Utah in this Silicon Slopes area. We have a summit we started 2 years ago. Our first summit had 10,000 people come from around the country, around the world to participate. Last year we had 15,000. This year we plan to have about 20,000. So this high-tech center, the Silicon Slopes, is growing dramatically. The question I hear all the time from most people is, why Utah? Why is Utah having success? Probably a lot of reasons. We have great people that have a great work ethic. a great culture of values and principles. We have also an environment creating a very sensitive area for people that want to invest, the risk takers, the wealth creators. We have an environment that's, in fact, business friendly. We encourage and empower the private sector. We have competitive tax rates, which are at the lower end of the tax spectrum. We've gone through regulation reform, so we have sensible regulations that are not an overburden on the business enterprises out there and the entrepreneur. We want you as a business to be profitable. We want you to increase your market share. We would suggest if you want profitability and market share increases, there's no better place to do that in the state of Utah. Our slogan that we have in the state is we want to keep government off your backs and out of your wallets. Again, this empowerment of the private sector has allowed a lot of companies to come and flourish in the state of Utah. Part of it, too, is not only the business environment that we have, which is second to none. Again, Forbes has mentioned it 6 out of 8 years, the best place in America for business. But it's because we have a wonderful labor force. They're high skilled, they're young. Our median age in Utah is only 30 years of age. We are very high-tech savvy. We have the highest percentage of home computer use in homes than any place in America today. So, and we also are bilingual. We speak in Utah over 130 languages. My own family, we speak Norwegian, Spanish, Mandarin Chinese, Norwegian, Romanian. In fact, when it comes to Chinese speaking, 20% of all the Mandarin Chinese being taught and learned in America is being taught and learned in the state of Utah. This allows us, in fact, to engage in international trade at a level that other states would have a hard time performing at because of our bilingual nature. By the way, let me just tell you in conclusion, you ought to come to Utah not only for a great business environment and an opportunity to invest and get a return on your money, but to come and have some fun. Utah is a great place for outdoor recreation. We have what we call the greatest snow on earth for those of you who like to ski and outdoor recreation in the wintertime. But whether it's spring, summer, or fall, we have beautiful sceneries, good places to visit. We have 14 ski resort areas. We have 5 national parks, 3 different recreation areas, and 43 state parks. 36 million acres of public land for you to, in fact, enjoy and explore. Tourism is a big industry in the state of Utah. Fodor Travel here last year named Utah the must-see destination in the world. The entire state of Utah was named as the destination place. So for these reasons and many others I can mention, I would like to suggest to you Utah, the brightest star on the flag, a great place for you to do business, and we invite you to come and take a look and give consideration to the state of Utah for future opportunities. Thank you very much.